Hello again, I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to Jimsville and some more City Skylines PS4 action. And as you can see, our new area is starting to build up quite nicely. We've still got buildings being built and created, and some of these other buildings are upgrading themselves as well. So I'll give you a quick tour of what I've gone ahead and dropped in. So in terms of our zoning, I've added in some residential, a bit of office here, a bit of commercial. I've also gone ahead and added in some extra services. So we have our police station for this sort of block over here, with a fire service on the opposite side, and there's a little slip road there, and then a hospital right next to that. I've also gone ahead and dropped in a cemetery. Where is the cemetery? Where is the cemetery? There it is. So I've gone ahead and dropped in a cemetery just there, and I've also put a crematorium opposite. It's pretty good practice to keep those two close together. I've also dropped in an elementary school over here, as you can see, and we've got a little playground next to it, and then I also dropped in a plaza just there as well, just to try and add a little bit of extra park life to this area that we're building in. What else do I need to add in? We've still got a demand for commercial. We've got a few little bits left here, so let's drop some commercial in just there as well. And let's take a look at our education level. So obviously we've dropped in a lot of elementary schools recently. We're up to 5,400 capacity now. Let's take a look at our high school, and we're well below where we need to be, so we need another high school. We've got one there. We've got two high schools over there, so we don't have to worry about Chellington getting further education. West Coast we want to kind of keep not too advanced, so we've got the one school there. Where else do we need? You see, we only have the one high school over here. These areas are a bit out of reach, as you can see. The service area, it starts to grey off and go grey completely towards this, so they're kind of outside of the catchment area a little bit. What else have we got over here? We've got one there, we've got one there, one there, got one there, we've got one in there as well. So I think really we need a second high school in here. So let's go ahead and stick in an extra high school. And I like the idea of it going there, but I don't want it on the main road. I want it the other way around. So I wonder. It's not going to really work, is it? I'm going to have to basically drop it in here and take out some of that commercial, I think. If I do put it there. Is there anywhere else over here I could put it in? Let me check my zoning around this area. See, that's residential blocks. I don't really want to tear those down. I'm trying to build the population up a bit. I think it's going to have to go in just here, take out these commercials. So let's do that. Let's drop it in just there. Like that. Or maybe that way round would be a bit better. Yeah, we'll drop it that way round, like that. There we go. So that'll improve our high school education capacity. We're up to 11,000 now, which is better than it was. University capacity way and above what we actually have in terms of eligible citizens, although that number will keep going up as our citizens get through education from elementary level or through high school up to the university level. So we probably are going to need another high school placed somewhere. I'm trying to think where would be a good area. Got a few areas sort of outside where this area doesn't have many graduated citizens yet, but it will do. There's a little catchment area there that's outside. They haven't graduated. But hopefully the number of eligible students will start to drop a little bit. Because it is going down a bit. As more students are graduating. We've got a pretty good success rate, 95% as well. And what we could also do is we could even potentially... Let's see. Let's go to budget. If we boost the school budget, we can teach more students. So let's boost our budget up to 125 during the day, and let's drop it down to 75 at night. And let's see if that has actually changed anything. Oh, look at that! Our capacity has shot up by an extra couple of thousand by doing that. In university, wow, look at that, 16,000 now is our capacity. And we're getting more kids through elementary school. We've almost got enough capacity for the number of eligible students as well. So that budget change has really helped our education levels. And of course we've turned it down a little bit in the evening to try and compensate for that increase during the day. So Jimsville itself is actually getting quite big now. It's getting quite nicely established. I would still like to put more housing in around here and around here, around all these buildings here that are generating, you know, nice increases to happiness and land value. But it's coming on as quite a nice big city block there now, which is good to see. We've obviously got the main highway running alongside, got our industrial park just there. And then we come into Johto. Johto's a really nice little town. I don't really want to do anything else to Johto. I'm quite pleased with the way that is. This area is starting to recover from, you know, that crime spree that we went on. It's still short a few workers, but it's definitely picked up and improved a little bit. And let's see. Westbridge is still a bit of a nightmare. We are going to rip this area up and rebuild it soon. It's just finding the right time to do that, I think. I can't really get too much closer, I think, to the airport, or else I am going to have issues with noise. I mean, it's not so much the proximity, I think, it's the fact that we're under the flight path, which is why some of these buildings are complaining. You know, they're under the flight path for planes coming in for that runway there. So that's not great, but there's not a lot I can really do about that. I have got all of this space here that's great for potential expansion. I can definitely put some office and other bits around in this area here, so we can extend our business area on this side in that gap there. So that means that this would be a great area for more residential expansion, and even this bit here as well potentially would be a good area for residential expansion. I do like watching the trains go by. Just watching a busy rail network like this just fills me with pride that we've created something that works really, really well. It's nice and efficient. There's very few delays at this junction, even though we've got, you know, 4 different lines all feeding in here. You know, they very rarely ever trip over each other. I mean, look how fluid everything is around here. It's beautiful to see. And of course, with our freight line running over the top, we've separated out the risk of trains tripping up on this junction here, because the only train that actually does run across here is our airport shuttle. Speaking of the airport, let's take a quick inspect over here. I think we can build this area up a little bit more. Let's just inspect the airport itself first of all. Says we serviced 16 passengers last week. That's not too bad. I think really it's a little bit too close to Johto Airport for it to be really effective in that respect. But I am going to put an airport in over here, and then hopefully we can get some flights going from there across to there as well, or even from Johto Airport some flights going over that way as well. It'll certainly be quicker going by plane than it would by train, if not a little bit more expensive. So, yeah, I think we can do better over here with some of the buildings that we've got in terms of placement. So let's go to zoning. We have got space for some office buildings. I don't really want to do too much around here. I quite like that being open. I don't really want to put office buildings in front of the airport itself, but it might be a decent idea to do that. I'll have to think about that. I like the idea of having an area over here, though, that's built up. So maybe having this coming out to another sort of little roundabout and then going into a business park over here. And then have it sort of this connect back up into that. And then from there we can then shuttle around into here. I kind of like that idea. We do have a little bit more of a demand for industrial work. I don't really want to go too heavy on office space. We've already got a lot of office. Would kind of like to improve our industrial work itself a little bit. So let's start looking at zoning over here, I think. So we said we wanted an airport. Well, I said I wanted an airport over here. So let's go ahead first of all and try and figure out exactly where that airport's going to be. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to line my road up as best I can. That looks pretty good. Okay, so let's take that piece out for a second. Let's build the airport first of all. Because once I know where the airport's going to be, I can then build everything else kind of around that. So the airport is going to be right up in the corner like that. So I need my road to come down a fair bit. Let's bring the road down. Get rid of that piece there now. So let's try about there, first of all. Let's see how that sits. Slightly too steep, but it will fit just there. That's perfect. There you can see the radius of just how noisy that area is going to be. But it's quite good in the sense that I can kind of see where the trees start to thin out. It's kind of the end of where my noise pollution area is going to be. So that's kind of helpful. So let's go in and take these pieces of road out now. Like that. So this is going to be our entrance to our airport. So I kind of want that to be one way, I think. So let's just put a little bit of one way in, just there. Like that. Take that piece out. And add in another piece of one way just there. Doesn't matter about direction right now. I can always change that. But this is going to be my main entrance to my airport. So I need to figure out where everything else is going to go from here. Let's think. Oh, I really wish we had proper car parks, placeables. I was watching some Imperial Jedi videos a couple of days ago. He does a fantastic series of videos for City Skylines on the PC. And I was just watching him placing, you know, loads and loads of like little car park tiles all over the place, and they look brilliant, and I wish we had something like that for this. Maybe they'll be part of the content creator pack stuff that'll be coming. I don't think they will. I think those are basically just going to be new skins for the buildings that we have. But yeah, it'd be really great if we get a car park thing. I don't know if the car parks he was dropping were mods or if they were part of the mass transit pack. But I'd like to think they were part of mass transit, but no, I've got a feeling they were mods. But if we could get car parks on this, that would be brilliant. Right, so I just had to take a swig of drink. I think a little roundabout just here would work quite well, so let's go ahead and put one of those in. It's going to be a small one. I'm just going to go 2 squares. Like that. Very small little roundabout. And then I can put a little bit of stuff down here, and I can also bring the main route sort of back out. And back along this way. Like that. So this way, traffic is going to come in this way and go that way. Or if I go this way, traffic's going to go that way. And then it's just going to take the first exit mainly to come back out again. That kind of works. And then we can come off this way. We can actually have something over here. But that's going to need to be standard 2-lane road. So let's go ahead and very quickly drop in a little bit of framework for that over here. So let's take that all the way to the end. So I don't really want to go too close to the runway. But I think that works reasonably well, and I can put services down here as well. So I can put an airport. I can put a fire service and a police station in those spots just there, and then I can put maybe a couple of buildings in here as well. Yeah, that works. In fact, maybe actually, how about if I turn that into kind of like maybe a couple of offices, maybe a hotel or two, and then over here, if I put my services on this road just here, that might be better actually. Have my emergency services just there. Like that. Yeah, I like that. That works quite nicely. So let's go ahead and drop those in. So it's not going to be a massively built up area, so we're just going to, I think, police station. And we'll have a small fire station as well. Like so. I don't really want to have an incinerator here at the airport. That would just be a little bit too much. But what I could do is I could put a taxi depot in. Oh, it doesn't quite fit. Ooh, okay. Can I relocate these across just a touch? Yes. Put a taxi hub just there for a place for all of our taxis to go. Now let's go in and put in a couple of taxi stands. They are going to be important. So let's put one in just there. And let's put another one just there. Like so. What I also want is I want to put in some footpaths and stuff as well. So let's do that. Let's go to footpaths. Let's put in a subway. that. There we go, that works quite nicely. Let's put in another one over here, I think. Like that, to bring us out into this area. Do I want it? Actually, I don't want it in that position. Let's take that out. Let's take that piece out as well. What I kind of want is, I want my footpath in this area here. So I want one that's going to come up just there. I think would work good. I could also have one over this side. So where's my underground bit? There we go. And I realise I've kind of messed that up over here, haven't I? Because I've just built that as a flat underground piece. There we go. Let's try that the other way around. It's just too short, isn't it? That's a shame. Alright, well, it's not the end of the world. But what I can do now is I can bring this over. Connect up like that as well. So there we go. That works. Right. So let's bring our connection round over here. So let's instead this time, let's put our airport, let's bring that out a little bit more. There. Let's put our roundabout on this side this time, so let's curve. Again, we're going to go a small roundabout, just 2 squares, because there's not going to be a huge amount of traffic over here, so it doesn't need to be an excessively big roundabout. There we go. And now let's put a small curved road section in just here as well. And connect up. Excellent. And now let's change the direction. So we wanted stuff to go through this way, so that needs to change direction. And guys will come in this way around the back. Maybe it's better to go in this way. Yeah, we'll do it that way. So traffic will come up to this area, will go in this way and then come out this way and feed back out that way. Yeah, that works better. What's the wrong way around? Is it that piece? There we go. So this is going to be our main route in up here, like this. So we need to flip the direction of the roundabout, like so. We need to keep that dual lane as it is. Let's flip the direction of this. Oops. There we go. And then that's 2-way traffic over there. Alright, that's looking quite nice. So there we go, we have our nice little airport entranceway over here. Let's also go ahead, I think, and drop in some decoration. So we want a plaza in here. That's a little bit too narrow for a plaza there, isn't it? We've got any other plazas or placeables that we can drop in. I don't think we can go narrow enough. No, we can't. Well, that's fine. But I can drop in a plaza over here, which I may well do. Yeah, we can't go there. 5 squares is a bit too much. So I want to save that for the hotels. Let's drop in a little plaza just there, I think. Or maybe... it's a shame that's the wrong way round, because that would fit really nicely in that spot just there, going across there. So let's try again to be clever. Let's extend this road ever so slightly. That's probably not quite enough. So I need that to be, I think, there. That's one too many. Want it to kind of be right up against the other bit just there. So let's take that out. Let's try there. I think that's one in from where we were a second ago. Perfect. Look at that. Beautiful. So let's take that one out instead. And let's see if it's going to complain about the road not being there. Yes, it is. God damn it. That's frustrating. Alright, okay. If that's the case, if it's going to place city buggers like that, let's take this piece of footpath out. Let's move that and put the footpath on the opposite side. That's one of the things that frustrates me sometimes about this game, is the way some placeables just are so stubborn with where you can and can't place them. So let's bring our subway down this way. Like so. And now we'll go across. And we'll go up there. And we'll take that piece out instead like that. That's better. So now we have pedestrian access either side of the roundabout. We've got our plaza just there. We're going to have some hotels and stuff over there. I can trim that piece of road off again now because I don't want that to be there. Yeah, this is starting to take some shape now. I'm going to go ahead and start zoning in some more roads over here, and then I will come back in just a moment. In fact, actually, before we go ahead and start zoning in some roads, I just thought something that is going to be needed over here is a rail connection. So let's add in a station as well. And I think I know the perfect place for it. Just there. So we need to bring that road down a little bit more. It's not quite long enough as we currently sit. That'll do. So if we bring our rail connection in this way, I'm going to get right up against the road there. Beautiful. We have a rail connection coming in over there, and then we can bring that down. You can see we've got a main rail line there, which doesn't connect to anything at the moment, but there's nothing to stop us from bringing that line. I may bury that line if I'm honest, and keep the external connection gone. But there's nothing to stop us from sort of branching off this way and then heading up that way to that airport up there. That's something we could well do. Or we could bring that connection in a bit further over. Yeah, we could bring it in this way and not connect it until we get sort of somewhere over here perhaps. So we do have options. I don't want to make too easy a route by rail, because if I make it too easy and quick by rail, then we're going to lose airport travel, which is something I want to avoid. But yeah, we have our rail link just there, so that's something good for us to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in some pipes and some more roads, and I'll be back in a moment. So I did bury the rail, as I said I was going to. I just don't like having those outside connections. But what I have done is I brought a rail connection down over here to connect to the tunnel that goes under the observatory and bring it onto this line. But what I want to do is I want to build a passing line because I want to have a direct service as well. So what I've done is put a few roads just on the edges of the rails, just there, as you can see, just to give me a straight line for me to actually draw from. There. Like that. So that I can get my passing lane in without it colliding with the crossover point just there. And now that I have the passing line in, what I can do is go straight for a little bit more. Let's try and make that a little bit more in line like that. And now we're going to build a passing, or a turn to connect onto our main line, because this is pretty much an uninterrupted line as it runs along here until it gets to this junction here, and then obviously stuff goes in this way. And I want the passing loop so I can have a direct service running up to this part here. What I may eventually end up doing once we've redeveloped this area is actually just instead have a line that just comes over this way. That's something I probably will do, but for now I want to have that little passing loop just there for this station. So let's take that piece out now. I'm going to bring this around like this to about here, and this is now going to join with this. So let's take that piece like that. Oops, let's go freeform. And now I want that piece to sort of curve around and connect. Is that a good turn? That looks pretty good. So now we're going to bring this in here, like so. I would do it the other way around over here as well, but with this line already built and not really being able to go further across because of these roads here, that'll have to do that way. But now we have a rail connection going up to our airport over here, so let's create that direct route. Now, airport trains are purpley kind of colours, at least that's the way I have them. I don't think we have a train in that colour. We have something a little similar, but that'll do. So let's run this all the way over to the west coast. And then back again. Because it's a long trek for the west coast to get to an airport. I mean, they've got to come down this way, down here, in that way. I want there to be a direct rail connection. I mean, they do have the option. They'll have the option of going with a direct train route, or they'll have the option of taking the other train and getting off at the airport and then getting a flight. But this is mainly, I want this to connect with this here, which is why I'm not going to have a train running down that way. So I've just put this in for future. I may do something with this, but initially what I kind of want to do is have traffic from here. They don't have an easy access train there, do they? Because that train bypasses that station. That's not so good. Okay, so in that case, let's move this up here. We'll have 2 lines that run up this way. And that way we've got one that goes to our main sort of city rail hub. And then we've got another one that goes to the airport there. And then what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to run... And we'll try and get this to go in on the other line. So we'll start it up this end instead. Where is the right station? I'm going to get this to run to Johto. Because Johto... Wow, this is such a crowded station. We're probably going to need to add another platform at some point at this rate. But let's try and again find... it's so crowded in here. Yeah, that'll do. Let's run another line going up to this airport. So this should... There we go. Beautiful. That goes in on that platform. And this will run this way. It'll run underneath. It'll hit the bypass loop. It'll be the only train that hits that bypass loop. And this way, anyone coming in on the other train, the other flight, you know, for tourists, will be able to sort of head to our main touristy area. And from there, they can then pick up a train to pretty much anywhere. So yeah, let's give that a try, see if that works. I hope that works. I may have overcomplicated things. I may not need a rail link up here at all, but we'll see how it goes. Right, let's start putting in some more residential stuff. Okay, so now we have kind of the beginnings of our town. So let's zoom in a little bit more. From our airport, we've got this dual carriageway running over to our roundabout. Got a split over here, so I can extend that way. Coming over this way, we've got a split coming down to this roundabout. This kind of needs to be expanded a little bit more, but this is kind of the edge here of the noise zone from our airport. So residential will start coming in around this way and around here. And what I wanted to do was mix things up a little bit, not just go for the same boring grid work that we do everywhere else. So with our smaller towns, I like things to be a little bit more unique. So we've got some of these kind of weird cross junctions and some roads going off at different angles, just to give us a little bit of variation, which I think will work out quite nicely. I need to add in some piping, so let's go ahead and do that. Even though we don't have anything up here, I still want to put the spacing in like that. There we go. I just find it easier if we have a nice straight grid to work with. So let's drive that across there. We're not going to be building in this area just yet, so I don't have to worry about extending the pipes, but I am going to have to bring this down a bit further. In fact, I may as well bring this all the way down, and let's connect it up with our observatory connection over there. So now we have a water supply coming into our town. Let's start putting in these other pipes. Easier. It's going to be tricky because we're at a slight angle, but I don't want to leave gaps if I can help it. That's not too bad. Yeah, we can get away with that, I think. Let's do another one here. One we might struggle to get away with, so let's try that again. A little bit too much of an overlap. There we go, that's perfect. Just draw that across to there. And then we just got this little bit sticking out here, so I'm just going to draw a pipe going up that way very easily to deal with that situation. I need to get power routed in this way, so let's see. I need to make sure that power comes across here as well, so let's bring this down to about here. This is going to be our high street coming along here. That's all connected up, that's quite nice. I want to get some power coming into this area over here as well. Let's see, where's the best place to draw power from? I'm guessing it's going to be over here. Let's bring that into the corner just there like that. So let's start adding in some zoning while we're paused. So this is going to be residential. I'm going to try and build a path up to our airport over here. And then once that power's in, everything will be good over there. I need some more services, and these will help to deal with our power as well. So let's put in a school there. Let's put a high school opposite there. Going to need a police department. We're going to go with a small one. Let's get police over here. Oh, that's a large one. Don't want a large one. Let's go with a small firehouse on the opposite side of the road. There. I do need trash, but we'll come back to that in a moment. Let's put in a cemetery. I think that will be a good place for a cemetery, and then obviously we'll put our little crematorium next door to that. I want a medical centre. Don't really want a hospital over here just yet. I am going to put a medical centre in up here actually as well. Just there. And let's put one in over here. And again, let's be grim. let's put the medical centre next to a cemetery. So if you get a bad diagnosis, you haven't exactly got far to go. I'm probably going to want a bus terminal, but we'll come back in and put that in over here somewhere later. Let's check our zoning. I'm going to want some office space going in as well. So I'm going to have some offices kind of probably along here in the build-up to our airport, where we don't have to worry too much about noise. Let's just complete that commercial block. So I'm going to have to put some pipes in over here now. Let's continue the residential zones like that. And you can see, because of the landscape and these hills, we're actually getting some little breaks in our zoning. That's partially down to the roads themselves and partially down to the terrain. But that's kind of cool to see. Definitely going to need a bit more commercial, I think. Let's drop a little bit of commercial in over here as well. And we'll drop in some offices just behind there as well, I think. And Connect those up like that. And now we can put in a couple of parks as well. So let's go with a small park. Please tell me that'll fit. It will. Excellent. So that means it'll fit here, where it'll have the biggest impact on everything that we've placed, because it'll cover everything. I do like these plazas with trees. They are very, very good. We don't have much in the way of decoration, really, do we? It's a bit of a shame. Do we have anything over here I could perhaps put in? Let's put a skate park in. We haven't built one of those for a while. I think the one we did initially put in got torn down. Yeah, let's put a skate park next to the cop shop. Riding stable, I don't know. Let's see. I could maybe have a riding stable over here somewhere. But that's, I think, perhaps for something maybe a bit later. I'm going to drop it there for now, I think. I think that has decent potential. Yeah, that'll do. And these will help to spread the power as well. So you can see, look at that, we've almost got a complete connection running through our town already, just because of those placeables. So it means we've got a lot less work for our zoning to do. So let's unpause time. And while that's starting to fill up, hopefully, let's check. Yes, I do need more water over this way. So let's put that one to about there. Maybe have to extend it a little bit more in a second. Yeah, I am. Let's draw that one up to there. That one up to there. There we go. That's good. We've got our road access there. Already there's a lot of traffic. Where's all this traffic coming from? Oh, it's taxis. It's taxis that are spilling out. Taxis and police cars. There's not much residential demand. There are some buildings going up. That's connected all together now. These haven't connected yet. Just need that little bridge of connection to go across there. Oh, there we go. Got something coming in there. So if something spawns here, we're golden, because then that'll link all of our town up in that respect. And then I just need something to come in just here. I'm going to give it a little bit of a kickstart as well. I'm going to put in some additional... I'll try and get through there without damaging the zoning. I think I can do it that way. Oh, not quite. But that'll add power all the way through there. This is almost connected now. I'm going to give that a little helping hand as well. Like that. I just need something here. So close. You know what? Let's just do that. Take that piece out. There we go. So we have our nice new little town building up over here, and we've got our airport over there. Hopefully we're close enough to a flight path. We've got our trains running as well. I'm going to follow this train and just see what kind of havoc this thing causes. So there's that one peeling off that way. We're going to go this way. I forgot we had that level crossing in there. Ah, yeah, look at this. This is definitely becoming a slightly too crowded station. We are going to have to, I think, put in a second platform. Okay, that's something for the next episode because we're pretty much out of time, but that was what I was afraid of. I mean, this is a very, very busy station now, Johto. It does need a second station, so I think this part here is going to have to get ripped up, and it's going to be awkward, but we'll have to put in, I think, another passing lane, so we could perhaps start that coming off just there, and then using that gap between there and then running along there means all those buildings are going to get taken down as well. And then we can have our second station the other side. Yeah, so this is all going to have to get ripped up over here and then sort of reconnected back over here, because look at that, that's just a mess. It's too many trains trying to go through too small a station. So, but everything else seems to be working reasonably well. I mean, we're not causing any major issues up this way, I don't think. Let's take a look. It's making the junction a little bit busier, but nothing too bad. How are things up here? Things are backing up a little bit, and we've got a brand new train line that's running. But we do have stuff going in on different platforms, which helps. Yeah, I mean, this is just temporary up here. We know that because we're going to be rebuilding this area. So it's not too bad up here. It's a shame that these lines are colliding with each other, though. I might have to swap those over. We'll see. We'll let it run for a bit in the background and see if the trains kind of even themselves out a little bit with their timing. But everything else over here seems to be working okay. I want to see our new passing loop in action. There it is. That was a bit weird. Watching those two trains collide into each other and then peels off there. So yeah, a little bit of work to do with the rail network now that we've added in this new line. But over here, this seems to be, you know, starting to pop up. You can see new buildings going in. There's that commercial building that I needed earlier. Where were you when I needed you? Let's just take out those bits of road. There we go. Everything else seems to be looking pretty good. So we've got nice movement of traffic throughout here. Our junction over here seems to be working quite nicely. So yeah, I'm really happy with this little area, and then hopefully we will start getting flights in here. So I'll keep my eye open on that. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and we'll be back with some more City Skylines PS4 edition very soon.